crazy double upload actually. Just think about this. Knowing what you want is the hardest thing to do in life. The hardest fucking thing to do in life. Of course, you know, there's subjectively harder things, but knowing what you want requires so much. It requires so much. And I feel like people are too focused on it. Are way too focused on it. Because knowing what you want requires you to know everything about yourself, know everything about the situation, about pretty much the planet, and then knowing how to work with yourself to even fucking get there. Because one thing that I realized, and I had to realize, I have two completely different wants in my head. I have two completely different fucking wants. One side is the right side, and the other is the left, right? Because I don't know if you heard the research, but a lot of your right side, all your right side brain is doing is talking, and it is, it's thinking, it's doing that. Your left side, that's the one that's moving. People make uncontradicted movements. Maybe you're dodging a ball, maybe you're picking a color, maybe you're picking your favorite food, or whenever you involuntarily reach for something, every time you involuntarily do something, that's your left side's wants. That's what they fucking want. You know what I mean? And your right side isn't always thinking, isn't always up to date, isn't always in contact with your left side telling each other what they want. It does not fucking do that. You know what I mean? It just does not at all. So knowing what you want is it's pretty much impossible. It's pretty much impossible because there's always going to be some part of your left side that wants something else that is not telling your right side. So how are we supposed to figure it out? And your right side is not good at figuring out what you want anyways, bro. It's just fucking not. It's almost fucking impossible normally, right? So people being so stuck up on themselves and scared of not knowing the future and because they want to know, they need to know, they want to know what they want, they want to know what they are here for, and that's not a thing. You're here, you're living, there's temporary wants, there's not anything you need, there's not anything you fully fucking want, there's not anything that you know you want. Maybe there's some shits that it'll be fun to have that you think you want, right? But your only needs: water, food, shelter, maybe some bathing, throw that in there, that's kind of a need. And if you don't bathe, you're gonna get sick. Some people, I guess, go without it, but you know what I mean? Like, that's your needs. Every other thing is a want. Every other thing on earth is a want. It is not something you need. It's not. And people still think that they want those things. They think that is a fucking need. They think that they need it. No, that is where so many people get mad and scared and anxious. Maybe you get mad at somebody else because they don't know what they want. Maybe you get mad at yourself or maybe you get scared of yourself because you don't know where you want to do with your life. You shouldn't be stressing about it because there's no way to fucking know. There is not. Again, you need to know every little thing about yourself. You need to know every little thing on fucking planet Earth. You need to know everything. Think about, how are you gonna know what you want to do without knowing every single job that's out there, without being through every single job that's out there, without looking into every single fucking job that's out there? Impossible. It is not. And at that point, it's just not even worth it. Because you're gonna spend all that time looking at a job, then you have to spend more time getting into that job. Then you gotta get, you know what I mean? It is just impossible. So if anybody is talking about, why don't you know what you want? Why don't you like, this is dumb, like, why'd you lead me on in a relationship or some shit? Maybe I wanted you before. Maybe I wanted you. And then it changed. Because again, people do not know what the fuck they want. Maybe at first, I wanted you for this, and this. Maybe I could have put out why I wanted you. The reasons I wanted you. But doesn't that just kind of make it seem, or make you, put you in the light of being an object? Isn't that kind of what it does? You know what I mean? Like, just having that thought process in the first place kind of just, it fucks with everything. It just fucks with everything because, again, if you look at somebody, oh, I want them because of this, this, and this. That's not a connection. That's not human to human. That's just, oh, you have that stuff? I want that. I'm gonna use you to help me with that. That's all that fucking is. So if you know, I have a thing. I accidentally like lead girls on, right? And it's tough to say accidentally, but bro, it's like maybe I wanted girls at first that I thought were pretty and whatever, and then get to know them more. And I'm a big flirt, bro. I love heavy. I love easy. I can't help it. I do it. That's why I haven't talked to nobody in a minute, but I love so easy and I love so heavy that like, bro, it ruins it. Because I remember this one girl from freshman year I talked to, right? I was in a relationship at the time, actually. And, we flirted a little bit, so I broke up with my girls, Because, we didn't, whatever, we didn't have nothing in common. Like, it was going to end anyways, right? And then I start talking to the new girl. And, like, she's cool, so whatever. After a while, though, dude, I'm not fucking with it. Like, I'm just not fucking with it. Like, you're not who I see me ending up with. So why even talk? You know what I mean? And then that turned into, I told her that. I literally told her that, like, I don't think, good talk. Like, I can't promise you nothing. Like, this is just not what it is, right? Oh, I can wait. Like, please. Like, bro, reeled me back in. That shit happened 3 different times until I eventually just fully cut her off. I was like, we're done. Like, I'm not talking. I can't promise you nothing. Like, we're done. She's gonna go around spreading shit that I let her on. Me just not knowing what I wanted equal to me hurting somebody, equal to me being in a bad light, to, all this other fucking things just because I didn't know what I want. And then that goes back to her. Because she expects people to know what they fucking want. When, again, that shit is impossible. It is impossible. Because, again, even if what you want now is what you want now, it's not what you're going to want in the next year. People's thoughts and ideas, they change. People, what they want, they change. People change. That is the main fucking thing. And maybe I'm failing to see that as well, too. Because, again, in my life, I ain't gonna invite it out to nothing. I see people are changing into a way that maybe doesn't suit me the best, and maybe I don't like the best because I view it as them not being them. They're still changing. It's not that it's not them. Their circumstances and who they're around and what they're being put into is forcing them to change into something that they weren't, into something that might make them less happy, that might, lose some friends or whatever the fuck. And maybe I fall under that too. But it's just stupid that people want to know what, they need to know what they want. People expect other people to know what they want and all of this. Life is uncertain, and that's not the hardest thing to say. That's the easiest fucking thing to see. Life is uncertain. But if it's the easiest thing to see, why do people not put it into everything? That's the one thing. People see that and just go about their life regularly and still expect something. They still expect, maybe a gift, maybe this job to work out, maybe they expect people to work in a certain way. That's never gonna happen. You can control people with whatever you want to use, but that's just like, that can just fucking backfire eventually, bro. Like, it's not the best way to go about it, I feel like. So I don't know, it's rough, but knowing what you want, it's uncertain, it's stupid, and I say people should just live happily. And crazy ideas here on this channel, right?